Evening, and all according to the CEST time, all are to good afternoon. I am starting the session. The first presenter in this session. Every presenter there have 30 minutes time. We will give 30 minutes time, and then there have a question session. First, the presenter will Dr. Yiching Song, Program Leader, UN Environment Program, International Ecosystem Management Partnership, UNEP-IEMP, Institute of Geographic, Science and Natural Resources. He or she is from the China, People's Republic of China, and she will present adaptation and mitigation measures, communities response. I am inviting Dr. Yiching Song. Please give your presentation. You have 30 minutes. We're waiting your nice presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. How should I share my screen now? I need your help for share my screen.
Okay.
Please open your file. Please open your file, and on the bottom of this screen there is a red color symbol having the arrow. Share screen.
Okay. Share the screen. Safari. Can you see it? No.
Yeah. Where's Ching? Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah, just on the bottom there is one symbol of presentation. So you just click the presentation on the bottom of your window. No, that was fine. Yeah, here.
It's fine.
Yeah, on the bottom there is a presentation symbol. Okay.
Where it is?
It is where this. Okay, you go ahead with this way. Okay, you go ahead, please.
I can go ahead.
Yeah, you can.
So you can see the screen now.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Okay, good evening. Hi from China. Today is China's Moon Festival. So everybody now is celebrating the Moon Festival with their family now. And the Moon Festival is celebrating for harvesting and for family, with family gathering. So it's a very big festival in China. So it's a holiday greeting from China to all of you here. Okay, today I'm going to talking about communities' response. My focus is more on communities' adaptation in mitigation at the grassroots level. And I would have started with why community matter. We all talk about grassroots communities and why it matters. So today this is one of my base and very important point in the whole go through my lecture, because especially community is important for mountain ecosystem and climate change. I working in the mountain ecosystems and coastal ecosystems, even dryland ecosystems, and the community are most affected in this climate change and or other crises. So especially the smallholding farmers and rural communities in those ecosystems, they play very, very key roles and every day in adaptation and mitigation. They are the they are the key force adapting to all the changes. So we really need to realize that. This is one thing I want to emphasize. And why is this? Because communities and smallholding farmers working at a very grassroots levels, they are the ones that who interact mostly with nature every day. We're talking about the human and the nature interaction, and it's the communities and the smallholding farmers who are doing this at the bottom levels every day. And if we don't realize their roles and supporting them, so we can see that the world is broken and the separation is happening. Separation is between nature and human, culture and science, and now and history. It's really in a very separation and broken pieces now. This is the cause. That's a lot of crisis happening. The crisis we are in now, the COVID-19, the climate change, the disappearing of biodiversity, we are all facing that, and we more and more feel the challenge. But the realization are not fully realized by all the peoples, especially the high level peoples. And let's looking back and forward to thinking about why is this? Because I would like to emphasize that smallholding farmers, they are not getting enough attention and support, but they are play a key roles still now. And they are the majorities, and they are play key roles in produce our food, in adapting to all the climate changes, and especially like in mountain areas in Asia. For example, in Asia is the biggest smallholding farmer continent globally. And the mountain populations, they are the ones that really dealing with all the crisis and the change. They are more or less marginalized because most of them are ethnic group, smallholding farmers, and the more remote and the most ethnic, smaller ethnic group they are, the indigenous community there. Although there are some realizations by the UN, by the FAO, by the high level organizations. For example, FAO report 2020, they point out 80% of all people suffering from hunger. Why? And roughly 50% of them are smallholding farmers. And among them, 20% are landless. Some have a smallholding farmers, some are smallholding farmers, but some are landless. They're just laborers. They're selling their labor for surviving. And including the gatherings and even small fishers. They are all very small fishing farmers. And then, so rural community are the base, holding the majority of the small farmers and the poor in farming and adapting to all changes and crises every day. So we all need to realize that it's important base. However, the current situation we are facing and the talking by the UN, by the big organizations, is the losing biodiversity and the increasing climate change. However, we're working at the grassroots level with community. We really feel that the losing agrobiodiversity and the traditional seed are amazing every day. So the increasing uniformity, losing vitalities and resilience is the result. More and more uniformities are at all levels in field, in crop, in varieties, even in our food, in our body, in culture, become more and more uniformity. Losing diversity and getting more and more uniformity At the same time, we realize that this is losing vitality and losing resilience. So we become more fragile. This is really threaten our health of both human and ecosystem, human and the ecosystem. Because, for example, losing biodiversity, losing traditional varieties in our food, in our body, at the same time, even in the soil, in the ecosystems. So the whole world become more and more uniformity. And this is also caused by the reflect back. This is caused by the industry agriculture, industry chemical agriculture, small become more and more monocropping and more input, fertilizer, pesticide, herbicide become more and more destroy our soil, our crop and our body. Smallholding farmers, they are still, most of them are still using rely on their own seed systems and using their traditional knowledge, maintaining their diverse livelihood in adaptation to all change and crisis, especially those in the mountain and remote areas. However, their farming systems are also losing, become more and more less resilient than before. This is realized by FAO and other organizations. FAO in the last few years trying to repeatedly emphasize that farmer seed system is essential for the social and the ecological adaptabilities of the global food systems, because this is the base for the global food systems, and believe that agriculture biodiversity is based on farmer seed system protection will make our global food system able to adapt to and respond to the environment and other changes. This is what FAO in 2018 and 2019 and the last year they emphasize. But there are a lot of struggle, we know that, because the food summit is coming. There's a big struggle if in FAO, in UN organizations in the whole world about that. In last year, in 2000, last year, UNEP even emphasized this in CBD meetings in Rome about the agrobiodiversity and the nutrition biodiversity are important. And the Chinese government also emphasized last year in the beginning, first time emphasized about the genetic resources and traditional farmer seed's importance and the conservation and utilizations of this. However, in implementation, in the real action at the grassroots level, there's still a lot of struggle and a lot of against and affected the fully realization of those realization and the goals about this. But we as a human, we really need to reflect and thinking about, especially we working with the community, we really realize that community is as a root and the base. This is the root and the base for our human civilization and the base for our adaptation. Without this, we will go nowhere. We really need this root and the base for revitalization, for adaptation, for continue our civilization. As a holistic and diversified community-based farmer-managed farming systems are really very important. And the farmer seed system is a core in these farming systems, because the seed is really a living living items that carry the traditional knowledge and carry the message all the way from history until now, and adapting to diversified context, culture, and everywhere, and adapted to the local culture and interact with human. So this is really an evolution and process. Evolution process is a living seed, and which we can rely on. And this is the things we really need to realize is a critical base for transforming towards our sustainable world in adapting to all change. The second part, I want to talk a little bit about why we think that our methodology and approach, what we believe is biocultural system and the community as a base. Why we're talking about bioculture? Because we believe human and nature are interact. The ethnic group, Nashi, this is group we're working as the case I will give you later. They say that human and nature are brothers. We are blood brothers. So we are really linked together. So we believe that biocultural system is the core part. It's not a piece and isolated part, like spiritual world, value systems, kinship, families, natural resources management, landscape, wildlife, water and the land, people's livelihood, indigenous food systems, farmer managed seed systems, linking, we really emphasize this. This is the whole biocultural systems. But this biocultural system is in an evolution process. They need adapted to the new context, to the new world. And they also need to link in with the science and the market and the continue for new innovations, for adaptation innovation process. We don't think they could isolate it by themselves, but they need support from science. They need a link into the market to continue for adaptation and innovation process. For example, GHAS program supported by FAO is a good programs. We are trying to also doing this in China. It's a good programs, but to working with this GHAS program, we realize this is the seed systems, those GHAS systems, they are human commons. But talking about human commons, they are global commons. They are also community commons. We need to realize that. For our continuity, we need to support and give attention and support those commons. They support our public values. And those are very important. Okay, this is the framework we trying to use in our climate change. We call that, we all know this EBA, ecosystem-based adaptation, community-based adaptation, and nature-based adaptation. But for us, community-based adaptation is core. Without that, ecosystem-based adaptation and the nature-based adaptation will go nowhere. There's no root, no base. So this is what we really think. We really need a comprehensive approach. We call this social systems adaptation framework. This is the framework that guiding our case study and our research in the field. The third part I want to briefly emphasize, I mentioned before, the threats and the issues we are facing. And those threats are increasing. We realize that in the past 2 years, almost 2 years, we experienced this COVID-19 and the increasing climate change become more and more severe and obvious everywhere globally. Nobody can escape increasing climate change. increasing separation and isolation and uniformity. And those are threaten all rural communities' resilience and biocultural systems evolution adaptation process. So further systematical explorations in the theory, approach, and policy and a joint action by us all are really urgently needed. No one can only dealing with it. No community, no only one state can dealing with those challenges itself by them own. Years ago, actually, we working together with other countries and following this biocultural system approach. Like we working with Andes in Peru, in Andes communities, potato park. We're working with Libert in Nepal, and also join force, the three countries, mountain communities join force. We try to explore the ways that are adapting to change, supporting our sustainable livelihood. The fourth one I would like to to share with you how we're doing this in China. I mentioned about Peru and Nepal, but here I would like to let you know the case we're doing this in China. I would like to present you is four case coalitions along in Yunnan, along in the upstream of Yangtze River, Jinsha River. And actually, if the COP15 is holding properly, so I would like to invite all who have the interest of to come to China to visit our site. It's very beautiful and interesting place. And this is the key approach following by these four villages bioculture heritage coalitions. And the biocultural heritage territory systems, because they are all belong to one ethnic group called Nashi or Moso. And their spiritual world ecosystem and human communities, they share same belief and religions. And they join force and trying to adapting to all changes and supporting their sustainable livelihood. And fortunately, they have their very complex religion. They call the Dongba religion. Dongba religion also have their writing words. So they have a quite complex spiritual world and religion to support them to become the whole biocultural system. The four villages starting their joint action in 2008. The key threat to them is their traditional knowledge and the agrobiodiversity as written by the modern agriculture, by the construction, by the quick development, also by the increasing climate change. In Yunnan, it's a big drought in spring and a big flood in the summer. So this is the driving force for the four villages trying to join force and enhance their bioculture systems and to adapting to all those changes and crises. And they also working together with the scientists through pharmacy network, through Chinese Academy of Science, linking to support their biodiversity conservation, and also working together with them for selection of a proper good crop and good varieties like drought resistant, and also working together with them in water management in the other item to adapt to change, and at the same time link it to market. And they have done this successfully through a collective action. So at the same time, through the farmers seed networks, they also share their experience with other communities in the surrounding mountains in Yunnan province, even go out of the province to other provinces in China, because the farmer seed network is a whole country network. So through community to community exchange, they really could pass their wisdoms and knowledge to others and share with other communities. Those are the location, geographic location of these 4 villages. So you can see this is the Yangtze River, upstream of Yangtze River, which is bordering with Tibet and Tibet, Sichuan, and go down to, and it's really in the 3 river parallelized areas. The 3 river here is Yangtze River and another Nujiang River and going to Myanmar. And another river is called Langchangjiang, but it become Mekong River and going to the Southeast Asia. Those are the areas of the 3 parallelized river areas, very beautiful UNESCO natural heritage place, and also UNESCO cultural heritage place in these areas. It's a beautiful areas they're working with. The 4 villages are all located along the river. Here you can see, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 villages along here. This is the Yangtze River. Hey, cannot move. Okay, they realize they actually the initial starting of these 4 villages are starting with their realization of their importance of their culture, of their religion, of their belief. They starting with their visit to 6 years ago. They visited Andes Mountains communities in Peru. Here, they also visited the community. They visited the CIP, potato centers. They in visiting the communities, they realized that we have the same indigenous knowledge. We have the same nature respect and religions, spiritual values like the Andes communities. But we didn't give enough attention and realization for them, and we're losing them. And at the same time, the visit CIP, they realized that the collaboration with the scientists could enhance their biocultural systems, enhance their seed systems. So this is the starting of their realization. They coming back and trying to, based on their own needs, and then rebuild and their whole own biocultural system. This is the water systems. They are in the mountain, the land, the terrace mountains. Their water system are amazing. The water system is more than 1,000 years. It's managed by their customer laws. So they realize this, they enhance their knowledge and enhance their customer laws to further enhance the customer laws management of the water system to adapt to the big drought. This is their landscape, and their livelihood, and actually their biodiversity are very rich. This is what they eat. Their food system are very rich. We call the indigenous food system. They have a lot of wild vegetables, wild mushrooms, and fruit trees surrounding them. So they realize those are very important for them. They can rely on those biodiversities. They cannot lose them. So gradually, they really trying to more and more protect them in a system, to doing a community-based collective action, join in and with support with scientists. This is what they are doing, their variety selections and improve the local land races in the field. And this is the before is the 4 villages in one case. Actually, in China, such case is all over China now. We document the community-based seed bank. They are more than 30 now. Now in this year even growing more and more, trying to through this community seed bank to share and to adapt to change. So this is all the things they are doing. This is what the community seed bank all over China we documented, and then we trying to support them technically, and also trying to link them to let them to share with each other through the network. And we realize that seed is not a farmer's seed, it's a living seed. It's not a dead seed. It's the flow of seed, flow of knowledge and the food. They are really, it's very good ways that to link community to community, community to urban citizens, to consumers, and to the west, from west to the south, to the east, south to the north. So it's really a good way through the seed to food and the flow of knowledge of seed, of food. And we're also trying to, because we all know policies are very important, we're trying our best to influence the policy. So far, we have done 2 pre-COP 15. You all know China is going to host COP 15 in Kunming, which is in Yunnan. And then we're trying to do 2 pre-COP 15 policy forum already. One is in end of last year. Another one is in May this year. And we are going to do big side event, side by side with COP 15 next month in in October 12 and 13. We will do this online. We are preparing this now. So you are invited to join us this now. We hope this could influence policy makers, policy making process. We hope that communities, farmers' voice and communities' voice could be heard. Communities' joint action could be seen by policy makers, by civil society, by others. This is why we're doing this. This is what we are doing, linking farmers with policy making, sowing diversity, harvesting security. We also published a few policy brief, and trying to really let the policy maker to see what farmers could do and how important should support them. Actually, what we do in this, not only emphasize the seed, actually utilization of seed are more important. Seed in agroecology is what we're trying to do. Agroecology and organic farming need farmers' seed. Farmers need to value adding to their seed, traditional knowledge and culture. So we're trying to really link the communities with the consumers, communities with the agroecology, with the healthy food production, and to the whole food systems. And the women and men, women and the young play a very key roles in this process. For example, we're trying to see that small seed and big health. We give example of soybean. Soybean is originally from China, and soybean is really feed the Chinese peoples for thousands of years already. Soybean, tofu, we all know tofu, and soybean could have a lot products. And soybean is very localized crop. Everywhere the soybean is different. We have documented that. And everywhere to use the soybean in a different way. They make a tofu, but the tofu in everywhere is different. So this is really a diversify, very important for people's health. And the soybean is also good crop for soil. So why we should give more support to those kind of crop rather than only focus on a few like maize. So this is the traditional crop and the knowledge and the culture. We really need to give more support. Oh, so okay. So healthy seed systems need to farmer plus land plus food. This need to link together with diversified crop and the seed. If those are together, the whole food system could be healthy and the whole land will be healthy. And we have a document during the COVID-19, our community. Okay, I'm going to finish it. Our community really have adapted to the crisis. We have published. You could download from the link.
Hello.
Hello. This is my conclusion. Biocultural farmer systems are important, and so therefore you can see that. This is my suggestion for researchers, scientists, and policymakers. Bottom-up, community-led action research, complex system thinking and all component, not only one, interacting and working together in a process, not in piece and part, can address multiple challenges facing indigenous people and biocultural heritage. Okay, thank you. Thank you, I'm done.
Thank you, Dr. Yiching Song, for your nice presentation. It takes something more time. So